Hello, I'm Adrian, and welcome to Fight Scene Breakdown. Today we're taking a closer look at the warehouse fight scene from the Ultimate Edition of Batman vs Superman. Batman is a master tactician, and one of the most important things in being able to actually take out a large group of people is the element of surprise. As such, instead of coming through the door as everyone in the warehouse is expecting him to, he blasts through the floor using his grappling hook and immediately disables several of the henchmen's weapons with an awesome bat gizmo. This poor sap still thinks Batman is beneath him and gets a harsh reality check when the Caped Crusader hangs him up Predator style. Batman drops from the ceiling, grabbing this guy's assault rifle and uses it as leverage to brutally break the man's arm, but instead of tossing the weapon, he fires it around the room to force his enemies to drop to the ground. He swiftly throws a man and notices another gunman about to fire at him from across the room. Lucky for Batman, the Batsuit is not only made from a technical carbon fiber tri-weave, this guy is clearly scared out of his mind and is unable to aim properly. Batman fires his grappling hook, which connects with the man's shoulder, and just like in the Arkham games, he pulls the thug towards him and clocks him with an insanely strong left hook, sending him down the hole Batman created when he entered the room. An armed henchman bursts from the door, but before dealing with him, he throws a batarang to temporarily incapacitate another. Assuming his rifle won't be effective against the superhero, he cooks a grenade, but doesn't count on Batman performing a roundhouse kick on the hanging man, sending him right towards the grenade. It detonates moments after, and now we go to the section featured in the trailer. He quickly incapacitates the guy closest to him using his grappling gun, strikes at the solar plexus of the next, and with two swift elbow strikes echoing Krav Maga's close quarters no-nonsense style, disarms and knocks out the armed henchman. Now he's going to deal with a very inexperienced man using a knife. Any knife instructor will teach you that in order to be effective with the knife, you need to keep it close to you and perform quick, swift movements that serve to extend your reach and make your strikes lethal. This guy does the complete opposite. He widely swings to the right and tries to stab Batman in the head with another giant movement. But by throwing his entire arm forward, he makes it incredibly easy for Batman to shift out of the way and gain control of his arm, culminating in an epic throw to the ground. These two guys decide to join in on the knife fight after they run out of bullets, but Batman is currently busy smashing this thug's head into the box so he can then use his grapple gun to throw it at another man, inflicting a deadly hit. One thug has had enough of the grapple gun, so after a couple of poorly aimed shots, he gets Batman to drop it, but will pay for it dearly in due time. Batman runs at the group and now must systematically eliminate each and every one. He begins by striking the man to his right in the gut, temporarily stunning him, following up with a further strike to the gut to the man on his left. As he turns back to hit the first man with a swift open palm strike to the neck, a third man strikes at him from behind with another knife. But the cowl on Batman's head is equipped with a titanium understructure, effectively causing the knife to harmlessly slide off the cowl. With this extra time, Batman strikes at two men at the same time in the head. He quickly deflects the attack from the man in front of him and rewards the knife attacker with a swift headbutt. A second attacker attempts to stab his gut, but clearly fails, and Batman takes the time to brutally side elbow the thug in front of him in the head. This particular elbow strike is actually more closely associated with Taekwondo and Karate rather than Krav Maga and Muay Thai, and sometimes a second hand is placed for added flourish. Moving on, Batman's gauntlets prove to be incredibly useful here as they easily deflect the double knife attack from opposite sides. Now he needs to disarm them. He starts out by grabbing the arm of the attacker right in front of him and quickly launches a rear elbow strike to take care of the guy behind him. With the thug's arm firmly in control, he uses his forearm to smash the man's elbow and break his arm. What comes next is a very low kick, sometimes used to block kicks in Bing Su, but which can also be lethal if enough force is used to drive the leg through, as seen here. With these two foes taken care of, he now deals with another knife attack using the same block from before, but this time redirects it to awesomely shield himself from another incoming knife. And just like good old Captain America, decides to push kick this particular guy and redirects the knife again to make this man stab himself. Now it looks like he's about to initiate a throw on this guy, but suddenly he's performing an upward elbow. More on this on the cinematography editing section coming up. Continuing with the choreography, a quick deflection and straight punch later, and this knife assailant is dealt with. One guy dares to stand behind the Dark Knight and with a ridiculously strong right hook is quickly face planted into the floor. Note how much torque is in this particular punch. The next man tries to take the fight to the floor MMA style, but his tackle is too weak and Batman easily uses his momentum to slam him to the ground and follows up with 3 furious punches to finish him off. This doofus assumes his gun will be the one to finally break through Batman's cowl, but is sadly mistaken. Once he stands up, Batman attempts to quickly disarm the man, but is met with a lot of resistance. Rerouting his attack and flipping him towards the ground, he twists in his knee, breaking the thug's arm in the process. But 2 more very relentless men are left and he is directly quickly hit with a front kick, and the other thug wisely uses Batman's cape to drag him to the ground. Luckily, Mr. Wayne is still in fighting form, so he quickly deflects all incoming knife swipes using his gauntlets, waiting for the right opportunity to counterattack. He finds it when the thug gets too close to the ground and follows up with an excellent cross elbow strike, perhaps the most ubiquitous Muay Thai technique. But a push kick from the second man knocks him back to the ground just in time for the other guy to stab him in the shoulder. Batman knocks a push kicker off his feet and with the same free leg brings it up to the man's face, dealing a critical knee strike. He spins to block the other thug's attack and quickly pushes his leg off the ground, causing him to lose his balance. Batman is clearly not happy about being stabbed, but decides to use the impaled knife against his attacker. Notice how the man behind him is still not down for the count. He lifts the henchman off the ground, slams him to the wall, and angrily stabs his shoulder for a taste of his own medicine. The other guy comes back for seconds, but with a quick jab and knee, he takes him out again. And just to make sure he doesn't come back, throws him against the wall. And in the Ultimate Edition, Batman is still not finished with the one guy who managed to hurt him in the entire fight, and by the looks of it, makes him pay for it with his life. He breaks through the flimsy wall, shoots the flamethrower, and effectively saves Martha. This fight was set in perhaps the most picture-perfect location for an old-school action throwdown, an abandoned warehouse, and was shot exceedingly well. There are several shots where we can see entire bodies in frame and easily be able to tell what is going on, and whenever we go in close, it's usually to show off a block or a strike that we couldn't appreciate from afar. The editing is for the most part very well done, with each shot usually lasting as long as it should to show the pertinent action. But sometimes I do wish it could have held on certain shots a little longer before cutting to the insert. The shaky cam is used, but not to a nauseating effect. I hope we get less of this in future Batman scenes, as the choreography is top notch. What I brought up earlier is that in this particular section it looks like we're going to see a grab, but cut to an elbow instead. Since these two shots don't match up, I do believe there is still an even longer fight on someone's computer. Perhaps this move led to a whole other sequence we didn't see. It may have been this section in the trailer where a man rushes towards Batman and he flips him over, as this never happens in the final cut. Batman's costume also looks incredibly menacing in this low-key lighting. Batman needs to rescue Martha and also has a time limit in which to do so. The stakes are there and the story makes it very clear that there is no way to avoid this fight at all. Wow, what a fight, huh? Going through it move by move really makes one appreciate just how awesome and complex the choreography is, and the cinematography and editing for the most part only serves to enhance the entertainment value. Not only is it a brilliant Batman fight scene that makes use of his gadgets and skills, it is also a fantastic fight scene in general. What did you guys think of the fight? Which fight would you like me to analyze next? Subscribe and you can follow me on my Twitter, Instagram, and brand new Facebook fan page, Godzilla Rex. See you next time.